What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This is episode 13 now on the series. If you guys are enjoying the series, be sure to drop a like on this video and leave me a comment down below in the comment section. I'd really love to have you guys sort of take the wheel here and help steer the episodes in the direction that you guys want to go. So what we're going to be doing today is starting out in our local junkyard. We are going to be taking a look and trying to find... Ooh, there's a Senna over there. Trying to find our next flip. You guys remember from the last episode we did a Porsche, and that turned out pretty nice, but I do want to do something a little different here. I want to buy a rusted out junkyard car, and I want to completely restore the thing. Not just the engine, but every nut and bolt on the car. So over here we have the Honda Odyssey, which is not exactly a good flip for us. The car value is $12,500 and they're asking $16,000 for it. So we would be taking a hit there right off the bat. And then this one is just outrageous as always. We're $20,000 shy of being able to purchase this thing. But if they would have had it priced at the car value of $140,000, we would have been able to pick that up. But we wouldn't have been able to do anything to it. We'd have to turn around and sell it again. So, moving along here, we have a lore-friendly car. That is a Salem Kieran front-wheel drive turbo. So it has the i4 dual overhead turbocharged engine in there, making 180 horse. It's a lore-friendly car. I'm trying to stay away from lore-friendly cars because I've done all of these cars already on all the orders. So I think we're going to try to steer away from all the lore-friendly stuff. And there's another lore-friendly car over there. They're not very exciting. It's hard to get excited about a car that's not real. So we are going to be continuing to walk around here, and hopefully we can find something that we can work with. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. I recognize those headlights from a mile away. This, boys, is a Mark IV R32. If you guys know anything about me personally, I've had only one of these. I blew it up in about 3 months of owning it because I spun a rod bearing and just kept driving on it. So that thing exploded. I then tried to do an engine swap, and let's just say no one has done the swap, so there's not much information out there about it. So it's not exactly feasible. I ended up selling it. It is still sitting in my driveway. I have a guy that is that's making payments on it, but man, look at this thing. Oh god, this makes me so mad because obviously this is a forever car for me. I would want to keep this in the garage along with our other Golfs that we have from Volkswagen. But man, what do they even have it priced at, first of all? Because that's the first thing you have to... Oh my god, car value's at $7,800. They're asking $11,000 for it. I don't know when we're gonna see one of these again though. That's the thing. But the episode, we have to flip something. I don't want to flip an R32. I want to keep it, and that's the problem. I don't know if we're ever going to find one again. So I think I'm just gonna buy it. I think we gotta take it. We don't have to do anything with it this episode, but we will put that in car parking. And let's head back to the garage and see if we can't find another junkyard. Hopefully with something a little bit cooler. All right, we'll head over to our main garage door here. Hit up the next junkyard. Man, I'm kind of upset because all I want to do now is restore that R32, but we will have to wait for another episode or 2 or 3. I really have no idea. It depends on how long our next flip takes us. So we're gonna search around this junkyard here, try to see if we can't find something that would be a good flip for us, something really profitable, so we can have enough money to be able to restore that Mark IV. Over here we have a Ford Focus RS, actually. Inline 4, 4x4. That's the one problem with the R32. It is 4x4, but they don't have a V6 that does 4x4. So, car value 18, car price is 22. We're gonna be moving on here for now. Is that an R8? Yo, 22,000 bucks? Car value's at 19? Should we get an R8, guys? I'm kind of thinking about it. What do we got here? That's a lore-friendly car. We'll come back to the R8 if we can't find anything else here. Yeah, there is literally nothing else here. We are getting an R8, boys. 22,000 bucks. That is nothing. And then we'll be left over with just over 100 grand. So I think we'll be all right in the way of having enough money to fix this thing up. We are gonna have to rebuild a V12 twin turbo engine, so that should be a little interesting. We'll see how that goes. But let's buy this thing here, send it back to the garage. 22,000 bucks. Done deal. All right, back at our garage with our new R8. It's new to us. It's not necessarily new. It's definitely seen better days. Let's see how many miles it has. 5,900 miles. That's really good for an R8. So a lot of you guys probably don't know this, but back in my younger years, I used to be a lot attendant for an Audi dealership here, and R8s really never shook me up too much. You know, it wasn't like a car that I was like every time we had one come in for service, I was never really geeking out over it. They are a cool car, don't get me wrong, but they just never really intrigued me that much. It just seemed like sort of an outrageous car. Someone with stupid money would own an R8, but we'd see about one a month, I bet, come in for service. So let's move this thing over to car lifter B, and right off the bat we're gonna go grab our welder. We have a ton of rust on this thing we're gonna have to remove, so we'll move that over there. We're gonna get our interior car cleaning kit as well and move that over there. So we're gonna pay 100 bucks to clean the interior and 1,000 bucks to get off all that rust, and boom, look at that, it already looks a ton better. Let's move this equipment back to where it came from, get it out of our way here. Oh my god, I got like soap in my eye or something this morning, and it is still just bugging the crap out of me. I bet my right eye is just beat red. We are going to be removing every single panel on this thing and buying it all brand new. I did not notice the livery until just now. That is disgusting. It looks like snake skin, and the pinstripes are off to the left-hand side. That's super weird, dude. I am not a fan of that whatsoever. That's gonna be one of our first things when we get this in the paint booth. We are ditching that for sure. Just remove the rear tail lights here, get the rear bumper off of there, and then the engine. Actually, I figured that was an engine cover. They've actually modeled that just to be part of the frame, so that's kind of nice. Saves us some time there. Get the other side skirt off of there, and let's get into the store. Actually, we do have some body windows. Kind of forgot about those. They're pretty small, be easy to miss them, and nothing on this side. All right, let's get it in the store here and get every single body panel we can for this beast. Really quick, while I'm thinking about it, we have a bunch of parts left over from the Porsche quick flip the other day, so let's go ahead and sell all of those. We can get rid of this stuff too. I doubt we're going to be reusing any of that, so let's just move that to 100% and get rid of all of it. There we go. We got 114,000 bucks now. That's going to be plenty of money to buy the rest of these body panels. Okay, I think I was able to get every single part for this car. Let's start mounting everything up, see if we got everything. Looks like we got windows here, we got a mirror, and the front windshield. I actually found one with the Audi Sport banner on there, so I thought that might be kind of cool. We went for a slightly different hood here. It looks like it's debadged. I'm not really a fan of that, so we might be changing that out. We'll see. Maybe the grill will add the badge in there or something like that. Let's get the front bumper put on there. We went for the red accents on the front bumper, just to sort of church it up a little bit. We got the Quattro emblem there on the grill with another red surrounding on there. I think that looks pretty good. We can get our side skirts on here. They're considering that a door window. That's kind of funny. And the trunk, we do have a new one of those. Rear bumper we can get mounted up. Again, red accents there. Left the badges on it. And they didn't have a whole lot of options for taillights, so I went with something that looks just a little smoked. The other ones were really, really gross. And I think that spoiler is probably our best option. The other ones were just left blank, but you can see there it's supposed to be like a carbon rear wing. Let's get that put in there. We can get the window on there, driver's door window, driver's mirror. Last but not least, the other side skirt. And there we go. We got a complete R8 here. Let's do the same thing we did last time on the license plate. We'll just go for the Hawaii license plate. And the number will be quick flip. There we go. Buy one of those. And we will get that mounted up here. Looks like they had a Volkswagen license plate on there. That's kind of funny. Audi is owned by Volkswagen, but Most people probably don't realize that they are in cahoots. Let's swap out that hood too. I'm not really a fan of the whole debadged look. And there we go. So we got the Audi rings back in the front now. That's looking good. Let's lift this thing up and check out the wheel sizes. All right, now that we got those wheels taken off of there, let's take a look in our inventory here, see what size those are. They are 19s, 235, 35, 19. Let's move it up to a 20. Actually, maybe let's not. We don't have a whole lot of room in those wheel wells. So the 2016 R8 sort of had a multi-spoke type of wheel on there. So let's try to find something that looks a little bit close to what it would have came with from the factory. I'm thinking these. I'm leaning towards these. I think those would look pretty good. Let's grab 4 of those in a 19 with an offset of 0, and just match the factory specs there. We'll go for the race tire. Get 4 of these in a 19 and a 235, 35, I think it was. Grab those, and then we'll head over to our wheel mounting machine and get these suckers mounted up. All right, we got the last one going on the mounting, or on the balancing machine there. Let's head back over to the car here and get these new wheels mounted up. I think these are gonna look a lot nicer than the old ones. Regardless, I mean, aside from the fact that the old ones were all just rusty, but those look pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, those look almost exactly like the factory wheels that would have come on this thing back in 2016. So let's get the rest of these mounted up here, and we will move this thing on into the spray booth. And there we go. All right, let's lower this thing all the way down here and roll it on into the spray booth. It doesn't run under its own power yet, so we are gonna have to push it in there. That's not a huge deal. Open up the spray booth door, and let's get a nice coat of paint on this thing. First, I want to go down to liveries and make sure that I'm not crazy. Oh my god, they do have some disgusting liveries. Got a white stripe, a yellow stripe, they got all the stripes. They have an Audi stripe. I have no idea what they're going for with that. What? A Nürburgring taxi car? That one's actually kind of cool. This is the one that was on the car before. That's hideous. We're definitely not going for that. This is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an R8 with a livery like that. We're gonna keep it plain and simple here. We are gonna leave the metallic color there. I think I'm between either that light blue that they have. Let's see, could we make a gray somehow? We could do like a Nardo gray. I don't know, dude. I'm thinking we do something like this. I think that looks pretty good, but I do regret not making those wheels at least 20s, if not 21s. Looking at them now, they're pretty sunk in. They look kind of weird on there. So we might be, look at that back wheel. That looks disgusting. Let's paint this thing. We're gonna go with an OEM color here. I have no idea what the color code is. I would assume it's fairly close to Volkswagen's Jazz Blue. Let's move this thing back out onto car lifter B. We are going to be taking those wheels off and hopefully making something that has a little bit better fitment in the rear. I didn't look to see if they were different sizes for front and rear, but something needs to happen there, man. That looks bad. That looks really, really bad. Okay, everything that I just read on the old interwebs claims that they only had wheels from the factory up to a 20. So we are going to be doing the same wheels. We'll just do the 2 front ones first in a 20, and we'll leave the offset at 0 because I think the old ones fit pretty well, and we should be able to reuse those tires. Also, a 235/35 on a 20 should be okay, I think. And let's mount up our new 20s. Oh no, God, I'm an idiot. We're not going to be able to use the same tires because 19s do not fit on a 20-inch rim. Jesus, that was arguably the dumbest thing I've ever done. Okay, let's sell those 19s. We're not going to be needing those anymore, and we are going to have to buy 2 more of these in a 20. And the offset will keep 0. If we add a bigger tire, I think we should be able to fill that wheel well a little bit better. Let's get race tires. We're gonna get 2 20s in a 235/35 for the front. And then we are going to get 2 20s in a 295, I guess. 95/35. We'll try that. Hopefully that fits. We are blowing through our money though now. We are down to 91,000 bucks. All right, let's get our last one on the balancer here. Head over to the car. Let's put, we should only have one rear tire or rear wheel in our inventory here. The 295. Let's get that mounted up here. I'm hoping that looks good, man. I am hoping. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. At least it fills the wheel well now. Before it was so sunk in, it looked... Oh wait, that's a front wheel. Before it was so sunk in, it looked horrible. And I think the 20s are a nice touch. That definitely fills that wheel well a lot better. Doesn't make them look so small. And there we go. We got our front wheel mounted up there. Let's run over here quick, get our last rear off of the balancer, and let's put the rest of these on here. Look at that, dudes. That looks incredible. I'm so glad we were able to fix that. And I think it made it look so much better. Just having that larger diameter of rim in there definitely fills that space a lot better. So now, since we're not doing the same thing that we did on the Porsche, we are going to be completely refurbishing this thing. I say we just time-lapse it up and tear this thing apart. Okay guys, hopefully you did enjoy that little time lapse. We were able to disassemble the entire car and rebuild the V12 engine that is going to power this sucker around the track. So what I think we're going to be doing before we actually sell this thing is we have to take it around the track. I mean, how many times do you get to drive an R8? So let's get this interior out here. Get that steering wheel out of there. M3 steering wheel definitely makes sense. I believe most R8s, if not all of them, have a flat bottom steering wheel, so that totally can totally see why that is. Let's try the Maserati seats. If they don't fit right, if they're too short or whatever, we can obviously change them out for something different. But let's try them. It's a little bit shorter, but I think it's gonna look okay. Some of you guys are probably screaming right now, like, never put Maserati seats in an R8, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. It fits the car. We have to take all of our parts that we just took off over to the repair bench, and we're gonna see, fingers crossed, hopefully we can repair some of this stuff. All right, so let's head back over here and start piecing this thing back together. All right, we had to buy the front steering knuckle B here, but we can mount both sides up, no problem. Front axle cover we only have one of, so we are going to need another one of those. I would assume also 2 front wheel hub bearings. I really don't know, but wheel hub bearings are probably a nice thing to have in our inventory. Just in case, you never know. Yeah, we needed them. Good thing I got them. Brake disc ventilated. We got 2 new front rotors. Got new pads, and we have 4 new calipers here. We should have plenty of cylinders for these calipers. Front drive axle A, we got 2 of those, no problem. Let's get that other side mounted up over here. Start with the wheel bearing. There we go. 3 nuts on the back side. We'll get our wheel hub bearing put in there. Get our rotor on, and we will mount up the rest of the brake system. Perfect. Something this game is missing. If you guys, I feel like I mentioned this, but the ability to A, spray your wheels, so you could have your wheels be like gunmetal or gold or some other color, but B, why can't you spray your calipers so you could make them different colors? I know you probably can't see the caliper through most of the wheels on here, but the DLC rims allow you to do a lot more, so I just kind of assumed that that'd be something that they'd bring out. But looks like we're gonna need a couple rubber bushings. Let's just get a handful of them. All right, we'll get 10 of each, 10 smalls and 10 big ones. That should be enough to assemble this thing. We'll get the upper suspension arm on there, and the lower one we are going to have to access from under the car. Let's just raise this thing up. I have no idea why we've left it on the ground like this. All right, now we can get the bottom suspension arm in. We're going to have to buy one of those after we get this one mounted up so we can do the other side. There we go. The double wishbone shock absorber we're going to have to get new and go put over in our spring puller back there. And let's make some new front springs. All right, one done. This is our second one now. Just have to wait for it to get done doing its thing. And let's go mount these suckers up here. On this side, we're gonna have to do the bottom suspension arm first, and the upper one as well, so we can actually have a place to mount our new shock absorber in here. There we go. Got 2 brand new ones at those. Other side as well. Sweet. Okay, we are looking good. Let's get our steering rack on. Mount up our steering rack. Inner tie rod. We didn't have any. Good. I'm glad I bought some. And we didn't have any outer tie rods either. Okay, sweet. Let's come back over here. Get the inner tie rod on this side. And now we can mount up the outer tie rod. Sweet. So we got our steering figured out. It's going to let us mount the wheels up now. But we're not quite there. We have to get our front sway bar. Grab one of those from the store. And hopefully we have the end links. And we should be about done with the front suspension up here. We are going to need a new battery. Put that under the hood. I guess technically it's still a hood, but since there's no engine under there, is it the trunk? Okay, with the front suspension done, we can move on to the rear here. And looks like we just have to start out with the knuckle housing D. We are going to need another one of those. Looking good. Okay, so what else do we have to do back here? We do have to get the engine mounted in here first. And a fuel tank with a fuel delivery unit, or a fuel pump, I guess most people probably call that. But we got to get the engine in here so we can mount up the trans, so we can put in the rear axles and get this thing rolling around. It doesn't make much sense having the crane in the front of the car either, because the engine's in the rear, but we will get this thing mounted in here. Get our new V12 in there. Let's move this crane back to where it came from. Get it out of the way. God, look at that thing, dude. That is just gorgeous. This was a cool engine to build. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fun putting that thing together. You guys would have seen that in the time lapse. We gotta hoist this thing. Actually, hang on just a second. Let's get our radiator mounted up here. We gotta repaired one of those. And then radiator fan housing B. That requires, I can't remember which fans. All right, radiator fan housing B right there. And I think it's just fan 1 and fan 2. That sounds right to me. Let's see if we did something good. There we go. All right, so we got our cooling system figured out now. Let's try to head back to the rear of the car from here so we can mount up our brake servo. There we go. And then we need to get our ABS pump in here. And we have to actually, surprisingly enough, this car didn't have an ABS module. Someone must have robbed that off of it in the junkyard. So we'll mount a new one up right here. All right, we are looking good, dude. Okay, for the gearbox, I haven't seen a single air filter for this thing yet, which is kind of strange. The intake can't possibly come straight off of the turbos. That would not work very well. It has to at least have a filter, right? Starter for a V8 we don't have. We're gonna need to grab one of those. Nothing to worry about. We'll put 2 bolts in it right there, and we are good to go. I think the axles are a little bit off. I'm pretty sure they should go in there, but we won't pay too much attention to that. We will pretend like we didn't even see it. We're gonna have to raise this car up so we can put those axles in there. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to buy those too. I don't think we were able to salvage either one. No, never mind. We have both of them. That's good news. One less thing we have to buy. We're down to 64,000 bucks now, and we should be able to. God, that's so weird that we don't have an air filter. I can't believe that, because you have the turbo down here, which would be the intake. That doesn't lead anywhere from the intake side. You have the exhaust side, and then you also have an intercooler, but there's no actual. Where's the throttle at? Yeah, because the throttle comes up here, and then nothing. Yeah, the throttle's back here, and then there's no filter. That's super weird. Let's get these wheels mounted up here. All right, looking good in the rear. Let's just do these 2 front wheels here. Hopefully I got the sizes right. Looks like we still got our 235s in our inventory, so we should be good here. And we will get this thing dropped on the ground. Dude, I'm so pumped about this. I'm hoping this will put us in like the $200,000 range, but I really don't know. I don't even know what one of these costs anymore. Check our car status finally. We should have everything completely restored now, and it looks like we're good, dude. Everything's at 100%. Got a sweet new color on here. It's only got 5,900 miles. And I say we bring this over to the dyno quick. Just see. Oh, whoops. Let's lower it back down, and we'll put some oil in it, and then we can take it over to the dyno and see how she performs. I think factory was somewhere close to 700. So it'd be nice if we could get to that point. I have a feeling we will. No, sorry. Factory's only 597. I say only. That is an insane amount of horsepower. And it's got 618 foot-pounds of torque. So I have a feeling it's going to perform flawlessly, but I don't think we're going to have any measured engine power gain, just due to the fact that we went stock and everything. Yep, 0% across the board, but that is some insane power. I'm pretty happy about that. So let's, now that we've dyno tested it, made sure everything checks out, so we are safe to take this thing out on the streets, or on the racetrack. All right, here we go. Got the quick flip Hawaii license plate on here. It is very touchy. Oh my god. This I'm hitting every wall. This is one of the, yeah, I can't even turn this thing, dude. This is one of the worst cars I've ever driven. I'm so glad that this is a flip and we're not keeping this thing. Yeah. The GTI performs better than this, and that thing just spins through gears all the way up to 4th. I promise I'm not that bad of a driver either. A lot of you are probably thinking, well, you're just a crappy driver. This is terrible. As soon as I get into power, it just goes all over the place. It can't even go in a straight line. I should have done the speed track for this one. I didn't realize it was gonna be this bad. We have brand new everything on this car even. So it's not like the old parts are at fault here or anything like that. It's gonna put down a worse time than our Mark II GTI, which was like 109. It can't go in a straight line. That's ridiculous. As soon as you start to turn even a little bit, it goes all over the place. Across the line at 118. That is almost 10 seconds slower than our Mark II GTI. That is insane. I'm so glad that we don't own one of these. Let's go back to the garage and just get rid of it. What? What? Where'd our car go? Oh, it's in the dyno room still. Okay, no big deal. I was just freaking out there for a second. We're all right. Still got our car. Okay, so I don't remember what dollar amount we bought this car for. I want to say it was like 11 something rather, maybe more like 14. It'll be on the screen. I'm gonna have to correct myself on this one, but we're getting a $27,000, almost $28,000 restoration bonus. Let's get rid of this thing. Sayonara, $167,000 is what we're gonna be taking away from that. So that puts us at $232,000. That is a good day's work, dude. So, all right, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. In the next one, we are going to be checking out that Mark IV R32 that we also found in the junkyard, restoring that thing. And we can drive that around, see how it handles. Hopefully it's better than that R8. But that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.